Hey everybody, it's Woljif here, back with another Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous build video. Today we're going to be looking at a build for our companion, Woljif. So a little bit of a disclaimer, this is not going to be a power gaming min-max type build. Rather, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a build that fits Woljif's character and story, and I'm going to try and make that build as effective as possible. Woljif seems like the type of character that would solve problems using cunning or agility rather than brute force. And he also survives through being evasive and elusive rather than being just straight tough. So I'm going to come up with a build with those things in mind and try and make that build as effective as possible. So here we go. Let's take a look at Woljif's starting stats. He's got very high dexterity, high intelligence. He starts with 3 levels in the Eldritch Scoundrel rogue archetype, which gives up some rogue talents and sneak attack dice for spellcasting ability. So he gets up to 6th level spells. I've also already taken a 4th level in Scoundrel, and I've bumped up his dexterity. At 5th level, we're going to take another level in Eldritch Scoundrel. I'm just going to keep these skill points where they are for right now, but you might want to choose something else. With him being dexterity and intelligence based, he has a lot of options. So you could go with the knowledge skills. He also has perception, persuasion, use magic device as class skills. So he's got a lot of options for skills. He can fill whatever role you need him to. And since we're going elusive, since we're going to try and be as evasive as possible, we're going to start off by taking dodge for our 5th level feat. I forgot to mention, at 2nd level, I also took mirror image and blur. Again, fitting with that concept of being as evasive as possible. Blur gives us a 20% miss chance. That's a minute per level buff. And mirror image creates copies, illusory copies of ourselves that can take attacks that would normally hit us. So really increases our survivability. I think the next thing we're going to take would be glitter dust, kind of like the tactic of throwing sand in your opponent's face. This is an AoE blind. So this also fits his build here. And I think our other spell, I'd probably go with maybe Cat's Grace to buff my agility. At 6th level, we're going to take another level of Eldritch Scoundrel. We get some more 2nd level spells. We take Invisibility and Sense Vitals. Sense Vitals is a nice little damage buff, gives us some extra sneak attack dice. At level 7, get our skills out of the way. We're going to have to take Improved Unarmed Strike. If we're going to take Crane feats, and we definitely want Crane feats for this build, this is a prerequisite. We get our 3rd level spells. I'm going to prioritize Displacement. This gives us better concealment. It gives us 50% miss chance. It's a round per level, so this is when you really have a hard-hitting enemy that you need to evade, and then Haste will be my 2nd spell. At 8th level, we're going to bump up our dexterity, our skills out of the way, and our rogue talent, we're going to take Combat Trick and take Crane Style. Crane Style reduces our penalty to attack rolls to -2 while we're fighting defensively, and we also get an additional +1 dodge bonus while we're fighting defensively. So right now, fighting defensively gives us -2 to hit, but +4 to AC. And at this point, we're probably going to want to be fighting defensively all the time. At this point, these really are the main 2 spells we're going to be casting all the time. Slow is a good debuff. The pit spells can be helpful. Resist Energy Communal is nice. But really, Displacement and Haste are where it's at. At level 9, we're going to take Crane Wing. And we're also going to take, Dispel Magic, Greater Magic Weapon. At this point in the game, this will probably help us out quite a bit because our weapons will be +2 or +3. So casting this on top of them will give us a nice little enhancement buff. At level 10, we should be able to cast our 4th level spells. And the first one I'm going to pick up here is Invisibility. Again, this is going to give us bonuses to hit. It gives us 50% miss chance. It lets us get sneak attack damage off without flanking our target. It's got a lot of really great buffs for this particular build. And I would take Dimension Door for mobility, mainly to fit in with the build idea. At level 10, we also get access to advanced talents, but we don't get to take one until level 12. At level 11, get our skills out of the way, we're going to take Combat Mobility. And this gives us an extra +4 dodge bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity that are caused when we move away from enemies that are targeting us. So this, not only does it fit the build concept, but it's also a prerequisite for the prestige class that we're going to take, which is going to be the Duelist in just a minute here. We also get another weapon to take Finesse Training. I forgot to mention that at 3rd level, he comes with Finesse Training for Dagger already, which allows him to add his Dexterity modifier to damage instead of Strength with daggers. And now we get to pick another weapon, and I'm going to pick the Rapier. There's a lot of really solid Rapiers in the game, and in fact, I think towards the end of the game, I would probably use the Rapier over the dagger. Okay, our next spell, I would probably go with False Life for a little bit of health buff, and maybe Stone Skin, protection from energy, another defensive spell. It's really up to you at this point. Primarily, I would be casting Invisibility. At level 12, we're going to take another point in Dexterity, get our skills out of the way. And we get to get an advanced rogue talent. Now these are really great. So Crippling Strike does 2 points of strength damage every time you sneak attack somebody. Let's see, we can dispel every time we sneak attack. We can have double debilitation, so our debilitating injury, we can pick 2 of those. These are all great choices. And then we can also get, if we wanted to, Opportunist, which allows us to take 1 extra attack of opportunity pretty much every round. So whenever we're threatening somebody and they're hit with a melee attack, you can make an attack of opportunity. You can only do this once around. All great choices. I think I'm going to go with Crippling Strike to weaken our opponent and make him less likely to hit us in combat. Also, I forgot to mention that he comes with Weakening Wound as his 2nd level rogue talent, which is actually really good in this game. It basically negates damage reduction, and there's a lot of damage reduction in the game. So, kind of glad he came with that. Let's see here. At this point, I might go with Obsidian Flow, maybe. This will give us, basically creates an area of difficult terrain to slow enemies down, so that could be cool for escaping, something along those lines. And Greater Animal Aspect. But again, we already have the good stuff. Eldritch Scoundrels are a prepared casting class, so you can learn any spell off scrolls as well from the wizard spell list. At level 13, we're going to take our first level of Duelist. Duelist is a prestige class that really focuses on the idea of being an agile, cunning, one-on-one melee combatant that doesn't use brute strength. So it really fits the idea of this build. Gives us a lot of great things, and it's a full BAB class, so every level we take, we get a +1 to our attack bonus as well. Our first feat, or our feat at level 13 rather, is going to be Crane Riposte. And this reduces the attack penalty of fighting defensively to -1, and whenever we lose our bonus from Crane Wing, and by the way, Crane Wing was here, at level 9, that gives us an extra +4 dodge bonus to AC. If a melee attack misses us by 4 or less, so basically if it comes close to hitting us, we lose that bonus. But now with Crane Riposte, every time we lose the bonus, we get an attack of opportunity. So it's kind of an offensive feat as well. We pick up Precise Strike, which allows us to add an extra point of damage for every level of Duelist we have. But you have to be wielding only 1 weapon and nothing in your offhand. And this is actually really weak. It doesn't multiply on crit. Enemies that are immune to critical hits don't take damage from this. So we're just going to ignore this and dual wield. Also, we get Canny Defense, which allows us to add 1 point of our intelligence bonus to our AC for every level of Duelist we take. So if you remember, we had an 18 intelligence, which gave us +4. Every level of Duelist we take, we can add 1 more of that bonus to our AC. So right now at level 1, we get to add 1. Level 14 is another level of Duelist. We pick up Parry, and what Parry does is it's a toggle that you can turn on. You can either parry for yourself or you can parry for people that are adjacent to you. And basically when something attacks you or another person, you make an attack roll against their attack roll, and if it's higher than their attack roll, then the attack doesn't hit. So it's defensive for yourself and your party. We also get a +2 bonus to initiative as well. 3rd level of Duelist. We get another feat. Our feat at level 15 is going to be, now that we have all our defensive stuff, we're going to try and get as much offensive feats as we can. And I'm going to go with Outflank right here. It's a great offensive feat for all your melee. Hopefully at this point in the game, all your melee have this. You get an additional +2 while flanking, and anybody that crits against a flanked creature provokes an attack of opportunity. So really turns your front line into a grinder there. And at 3rd level, when wearing light or no armor, we're not going to be wearing armor. The Duelist gains another +4 bonus to AC against attacks of opportunity when moving. So basically you can just walk around the battlefield as much as you want. Your AC will be so high that nobody can hit you with those attacks of opportunity. At level 16, we take another level of Duelist. This is our last ability increase to dexterity. Get our skills out of the way. And we pick up combat reflexes for free as a bonus feat from the Duelist class. And we also get an additional +2 competence bonus on reflex. And you can see, like, this guy is completely, doesn't have any gear on. He's got very high reflex saves. Kind of weak on fortitude and will. But you know what? That actually suits Woljif. Not really known for being steadfast. All right, at 17th level, we're going to take Improved Critical. Now, for me, I would take Improved Critical Rapier. I like Rapiers better. They have a better critical range, which synergizes with Outflank and other abilities and other items that you pick up in the game that activate off of crit. So, and I also know there's a lot of really great Rapiers in the game. So that's what I'm going to go with. You could also take Dagger, though. And now we pick up Riposte, and when we successfully parry using our parry ability, we get an attack of opportunity. So a lot of attacks of opportunity for this guy. Kind of turning defense into offense, which I like. We pick up Acrobatic Movement. We're no longer affected by difficult terrain, so it's kind of nice to drop spells that cause difficult terrain, and he can just kind of kite around while those enemies are slowed. At level 19, we take our last level of Duelist, which is our 7th level of Duelist, and our last feat is going to be Improved 2-Weapon Fighting to get another attack with our offhand. We pick up Elaborate Defense. Elaborate Defense allows us to add an additional +1 to our dodge bonus when we're fighting defensively for every 3 levels of Duelist. So basically we get another +2 to our AC when fighting defensively. All in all, these levels in Duelist, because of our high intelligence, if we're wearing a +6 headband, which we will at some point in the game, we get +7 to our AC from Canny Defense, and +4 to our AC when we're moving, and another +2 to our AC from Elaborate Defense. And it just fits with the build theme in general. At level 20, we're going to put our last ability point into Constitution, get our skills out of the way, and we get to pick up some 5th level spells. I'm going to pick up Genie Kind, which allows us to, well, it just gives us a lot of really nice buffs. Also gives us a form bonus. Oh no, it's an enhancement bonus. +4 enhancement to our natural AC. And Echolocation, which gives us blind sight. Pretty nice. For our Mythic path, I went with Abundant Casting first at Mythic rank 1. Our 1st, 2nd, and 3rd level spells are really our best spells. I mean, we get Blur, Mirror Image, Haste, Displacement. Those are some great spells. So being able to cast more of those in the early game is really helpful. At Mythic rank 2, I took 2-Weapon Fighting. This allows us to take, well, basically it gives us an additional +2 to hit with all of our attacks. At Mythic rank 3, I took Archmage Armor. This allows us to add our Mythic rank to our AC whenever we cast Mage Armor on ourselves. And we are a caster, we have Mage Armor, so we'll be casting that all the time. We are going to be fighting with no armor. Archmage Armor, no armor, plus all our dodge bonus makes for a really evasive tank. At Mythic rank 4, I'm going to take Emergency Potion. Being able to drink a heal as a swift action is really nice, or an invisibility potion or anything else. Also kind of fits with the build concept. At Mythic rank 5, I took Ever Ready to make our attacks of opportunity more damaging and more effective. And this was kind of a story choice or an RP choice, because I really want those attacks when we catch somebody off guard to do more damage. You could have also taken Unrelenting Assault, which just gives you a flat damage buff. But again, like I said, I think that this suits the build concept a little bit more. And then at Mythic rank 6, our Mythic feat, I took Improved Critical Rapier to increase our crit multiplier by 1. And since a rapier has a multiplier of 2 normally, this is actually a huge buff to your damage. Now this is as far as I got in the beta. I'm not entirely sure what I would do with my next feat. Maybe Unrelenting Assault, Flawless Attacks, things like that. I'll have to play through to find out what works. Alright, taking a look at gear here. Our goals are pretty much to boost our dexterity and intelligence. We've got a +6 intelligence headband. I think I got this from a vendor in Act 4. Perception goggles. This was a cool item. I think they added this in the most recent beta. Specifically for duelists, you can get a +4 competence bonus to attack rolls while parrying, so that's basically all the time. If you have Precise Strike, you can add 1.5 your duelist level. We don't use that. It's really not that good. Doesn't multiply on crit. Very low damage. So we're dual wielding with 2 rapiers here. Deflection, Random Ring. These are pretty cool. When you confirm a crit, you make your target vulnerable to piercing damage, so they take a time and 1.5 times the damage they normally would. Unfortunately, the DC is really low, so you're not going to get to use these very often. Story Neck, Constitution Belt, Random Gloves, got nothing else. These are awesome. Artifact Boots, +8 to Dexterity, Mobility, Athletics, yada yada yada. This is a rapier you can get off of vendor. So this is one of those things that fits perfectly to build. +5 Keen, that gives us a 30% chance to crit. +2 bonus to attack and damage on attacks of opportunity, stacking with Ever Ready. Makes our attacks of opportunity really hit hard. And also, if an attack of opportunity results in a killing blow, you get an extra attack. So all kinds of really good stuff going on with that one. And if you take a look here, our buffed intelligence is +7, so those 7 levels of duelist are perfect because we get to add all of this to our AC. And just self-buffed, our AC is 64. This is not fighting defensively, so add another 8 on there. So 72 with just self-buff. I think that's a pretty solid AC for most difficulties in the game. Alright, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.